Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got game 2 of a best of 3. It is between TSLHyuN, who is the blue Zerg in the top left, and AcerBly, who is the orange Zerg in the lower right. That is a ZvZ for anyone who couldn't work that out, and it is of course from the Zotac Cup. Now if you haven't watched game 1, flick over to my channel and give that a watch, because it was super awesome. Some really good play there. It was quite a quick game, but it worked very well. So I'm interested to see how game 2 plays out. Now obviously HyuN is one game up now. As I said in game 1, HyuN has an amazing ZvZ. I'm talking absolutely beautiful. It's just so well played out, and he always does very well in the matchups. So I'll be interested to see if a top quality player like Bly is able to basically force a third game out of him or not. Because after game 1, I would have to put my money on HyuN going 2-0, which again, I've seen it happen before. I've seen HyuN actually 3-0 his teammate Revival in a ZvZ in a best of 5 repeatedly. So, to be honest, I think that's going to be tough to beat. I mean, HyuN is just really quality at ZvZ basically. So, in terms of build order, nothing crazy yet. It looks like both are actually gearing up to go either for a hatch first or a very late pull. But either way, that means that it's going to be more macro focused, no super early pressure, no cheesing or anything like that, which I know a lot of players do much prefer, obviously. So we will wait and see how it all goes, but for the moment, things are looking not too bad. I do have the hatch out for both of these players, literally on the 15 mark, which is where it's to be expected. Pretty much at identical timing as well, only about a second between them, which is very good play. If we do take a look though, obviously everything else is completely equal. The pools will probably come down at a similar point, around 16 I would imagine. And then, well, we've got the pool both again for both players at pretty much exactly the same time, so this is going to be a really equal game. At least in the early portion of it. So, while this is all going on, let me use this opportunity to say, if you like the video, thumbs up, that'd be super sweet and helpful for me. Like, literally, if you thumbs up the video, I do that, I smile, like, super happy. Also, subscribe. That would be awesome. I get new high-level games up every single day of the week, so wouldn't want you to miss any if you like my casting. Leave a comment as well on my casting style, on the games I'm casting, on the players I'm casting, anything like that. And also follow me on Twitter, that would be sweet as well. So, looking back at the game now, we've got both players still doing very similar builds, similar gas timings. HyuN's gas was slightly quicker. Both players have their naturals literally about to pop now, pretty much simultaneously, so that is absolutely fine. Both players getting 2 queens out. Everything is going to be pretty much exactly the same. So there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're going for an equal build at this equal timing, just shows how refined both these players have their build orders. Because basically, if you went into, say, a silver level match, even if both players were going for the same build order, you'd see variation. You'd see couple of seconds there, if not more, at different portions, and basically what that means is that obviously your build order is not refined, you're not doing it as best as you can, and ultimately means you'll have less stuff. And that is what a lot of people who go on forums like Team Liquid or into chat channels and things like that and say, how do I beat X? Well, a lot of the time, if you're below sort of platinum level, you get people say macro more. And that's actually really true. If your macro is not right, you can generally win in the lower leagues by just having more stuff, as demonstrated by, I've forgotten who it was, there was a player who went for nothing but queens and got up to like diamond level. So do search for that video if you are a lower level player. If you don't believe me, the macro is what matters. So far we've got the Baning Nest coming down for both players at a similar timing. Well, HyuN actually going for the spine, but not for revival yet. Bly now going for that spine crawler, so slight variation there. If we look at the work account, I do actually have Bly getting quite significantly ahead already. Both players have speed on their way, both players have the Baning Nest, everything is pretty equal, but of course the longer Bly stays ahead in terms of the work account, the better it's going to be for him. But it should level out shortly, I would imagine, because obviously there's more coming in there for HyuN. He's getting now like another 7 drones out, so there we go, things are leveling up, and that's what you get in ZvZ. Unlike the other kind of well, Protoss and Terran style, they produce 1 worker at a time from each base, and that's pretty much it. Anything else, nothing else really changes. Now, we do have these 2 Zerglings poking and prodding around. The Queen is onto them though, but obviously HyuN has now spotted that the lair is coming down. His own lair starting, he's spotted the gas timings, how many gas. HyuN is on 3 gas himself. That's compared to 4 gas for Bly now. Though he hasn't transferred these drones yet, which he really should do. He's oversaturated, so needs to transfer over here. Go on, Bly. Go on, Bly. But for the moment, we've got 2 banelings wandering in, but they're not going to be able to do anything because the queens are there. The queens will help massively, and even if 1 baneling hit goes off, it doesn't actually kill anything but lava. So that is actually quite annoying and useful, picking off lava like that. It just damages your opponent's economy and production capability for a short while. But HyuN following this up with an awful lot of Zerglings. The 3rd base coming out here for Bly, and this could be really, really interesting to see how this manages to go down. If Bly defends it well, though, he'll be absolutely fine. There are 2 banelings, though. 2 banelings kill 2 banelings. It's all very, very fun, and everything getting taken out. And this 3rd base almost certainly going to get denied here for Bly. If he manages to hold that, I'd be very, very impressed. Bly going for the Spire, HyuN going for the Roach one, and this is definitely going to get cancelled now. There's literally no way I could see Bly managing to hold that. There goes down the cancel. And that was a good engagement for HyuN right there. By denying that 3rd, he's put himself in a good spot. He's got more units out. Obviously, HyuN with those 2 banelings, he does need to be careful with those. Obviously, if a big baneling hit went off, Bly would be in massive danger zone. But the 2 banelings do get into the middle line, and they pick off a couple of drones. Only 5 have been killed in total. We do have those Zergling on Zergling action, but Bly seems to have more stuff and will basically manage to hold it there with not too significant losses, but of course it has knocked him 2 drones behind now, which is never fun. HyuN also getting 14 banelings down here, and a drone coming down to try and retake the 3rd, but we'll spot all of these banelings, and there is going to be a panic moment. Actually, Bly just runs straight through them. Those banelings have been morphed. Now we've got banelings coming in here for Bly as well, and basically this is going to be mass baneling action, which is just so stressful, and Bly actually gets a really good baneling engagement off there, but quite a few drones are taken down. That takes up to 10, so another 5 killed. We've got Mutas coming out though for Bly, and HyuN has nothing to defend this at the moment. He does have that Evo chamber, so can get spores down, but only sitting on 3 queens as far as I can see, which is not going to defend very well against 6 Mutalisks. So this will be very, very interesting to see. 7 Mutas now on the way. We've got the drone count getting ever higher, 46 to 41 in Bly's favour. Bly also got his 3rd half finished, and if that does go down, he's going to be in a great, great spot. But HyuN is going to scout that out. He's got a lot of roaches on the field. Now, this is the problem with going Muta, is basically Mutas are great at picking off drones and overlords and things like that, but then don't engage head on very well. So when your opponent sees Mutas, sometimes, quite a lot of the time, what they'll do is just come and kill you. And that is exactly the strategy HyuN is going for here. He's like, well, I've got roaches, you don't, you're going to struggle to take all of this out, so I'm just going to walk forward and just A-move into your main, pick off your Spire or your Queens, and basically just hurt your production so much while I get a Hydrogen behind this and the spores. So HyuN is actually going to be in a pretty good spot here. He's splitting up the roaches as well to try and pick off as many drones as he can, and this is just doing absolutely huge damage. And of course, Bly all this time is trying to engage with those Mutas, but I mean, if we take a look here, 15 workers killed, so that is always going to be a problem. 17 in total go down now, and that will take the worker count. Still with Bly only just behind, so he's doing pretty well. He does have that 3rd base up as well. The roach is coming down towards the 3rd, but those Mutas can eventually come and start picking off these runaway roaches, and basically the roaches can't engage cost effectively against them, but we do have Hydras coming out as well as the groove spines in order to allow them to have that increased attack range. And basically, we're going to see HyuN really struggle to deal with these Mutas as their numbers get higher. He's going to need those Hydras to engage well. You need quite a big ball of Hydras though, but still we just see HyuN going with the approach of, well, you can't engage me head on well. I'll do a lot of damage before you can take out these roaches because they have so much health and armor. So I'm just going to keep running forward, keep picking off queens. I mean, there is no queens at all out for Bly right now. That hurts his production so much. He's missing out on an awful lot of lava because of that, and that's going to cause him big problems. Now, the queens are moving forward, which is a bit of a bold move, moving those queens forward. We do have the Hydras coming in as well. Obviously, anything that can shoot up needs to be on the cards here for HyuN right now. Bly, though, he's getting an awful lot of Zerglings, and actually Zergling Mute are very effective in ZvZ, as long as there aren't a lot of banelings out. But of course, HyuN has gone for that Roach Hydra mix, and that gets wrecked because basically they either have to attack the Zerglings or the Mutas, and either way, the Zerglings do a lot of damage. So here comes all the Hydras across now, and HyuN does have the better army supply, but just so many Banelings out here for Bly, ready to take out those Hydras. Obviously Hydras are light units, so they take absolutely massive damage from Banelings. And here we go, they're coming in, they're engaging as best they can. The Mutas don't take hardly any damage right now. And HyuN is coming on a lot worse in terms of resources, lost about 2,500 more resources lost for HyuN as opposed to Bly right now. And it looks like Bly is ready to go for a big counter-attack. He's roughly 30 supply ahead, and well, he's on the money. There's more spores coming down, there's more Banelings morphing in, and this is just not going to be fun. All of these overlords over the map are going to get taken out, and the next one that goes down will actually supply block HyuN. Well, very shortly will supply block HyuN. There is one managed to survive somehow. Probably get picked off by those mutas though, or not. Either way is cool, but the muta number's getting very, very high. The Hydra number's not high enough at all for HyuN right now. He is trying to get down more spores, trying to make an emergency defense, but again, spores don't shoot down, so the Zerglings are going to cause big, big problems. The Roaches are going to take big damage. The Hydras are the focus of this engagement, and just once you get mutas in this higher numbers, they start doing absolutely huge damage. They can stay out of the range of those spores, but for the moment, Bly is forced back. HyuN is not in the greatest spot, though. The main, very vulnerable. Only one spore crawler there, so I'm surprised no loop around. The third base up and running for both these players, and quite a few drones have been killed by both players now. And of course, every time the Bly moves out, he's counteracted with HyuN by just sending a few Roaches into the mineral line to try and pick up some damage, and that just buys HyuN more time. And of course, once those infestors pop, basically mutas clump up really, really badly, and if the infestors do get a good fungal growth up, it can be really, really bad times. A lot of Banelings morphing in though. The Banelings won't engage that well against the Roaches, but basically these spores are the problem and the infestors are the problem. And as long as those mutas engage well against those, Bly should be in an amazing spot. He is a good 30 supply ahead, coming up to being 40 supply ahead. But basically he just has to engage very, very carefully. Now, in come all the Banelings, in come all the mutas. Are we going to see a fungal growth go down? No, not yet. A good spread on the mutas as well. They pick off the infestors before pretty much any fungal growths go down. That was an amazing engagement for Bly there. And suddenly we've got HyuN looking to be in a big, big spot of problems. He's lost an awful lot of resources, an awful lot more than HyuN has. But obviously that infestor is there. No energy for fungal growth though. Does that mean pathogen glands isn't done? That'd be crazy. No, it's not even been started yet. That is absolutely insane. Those spore crawlers are getting taken down one at a time, and using the bounce attack of the mutas just to get the additional range to pick off any constructing. There's now just that one spore there. Contaminate goes down on the hatchery as well, preventing the queen getting built. And there's just so many mutas there. The Overseer being used to soak up some of the fire. And I mean, obviously there's a lot of Zerglings down here as well. They're running straight in for that spore crawler. The muta's not actually focusing the spore, which is quite surprising, as the only thing that can shoot up. And now the Zerglings are just able to go to town, and we should see a GG out of HyuN any second. And Bly will force this to the third game. There's nothing HyuN can do right now. There's just streams of Zerglings coming in, and the GG will go down literally any second. There's only one spore there. There are a lot of spores back of the natural, but there's just too much stuff here for Bly, who's now just going straight for the money, which literally is the minerals in this case, and is just doing so much damage. It's hard to see everything that's going on, but I mean, the better indicator is just this, that number slowly ticking up of worker killed. Of course, if we look here, now 15 to 50, and there is the GG from HyuN. So that was game 2, and AcerBly does level the series up 1-1. So if you did like, thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and then go to my channel to find game 2. Thanks for watching, game 3 rather. Thanks for watching. See you there in a sec. Bye for now.